The Democrats talk all the time about how Citizens United has completely destroyed democracy, how it was really the GOP's fault that we got into this position. And yet something as simple as just removing dark money from primaries, can't even get a vote, should tell you all you need to know, that they're all in this together. Now, the non-corporate people are not in this together. They're working on another side of politics, which is to actually change the system. But when it comes to the Democrat and Republican parties, they work in concert. This is a prime example of that. At the highest order of the Democratic Party, they decided, no, corporate money's fine, and dark money's even better. And why is that?
Well, if you're going to have corporate money, it's better off that it's dark.
Well, then that just makes it worse, because then you really don't know where it's coming from.
No. That's my point. It's like, why would you get rid of dark money if you're going to have corporate money? If you're going to have corporate money, then you want it to be dark. You don't want people to know. That's the whole point of what they do. Why would they get rid of that?
Well, I agree.
They couldn't exist without it.
No, that's definitely true. I definitely concur that is the essence of why the system is the way that it is. As you said, it's designed to work exactly as it is intended, even though there are people who think that the system is broken. Well, our country's broken. There's no question about that. But in terms of the actual construction of the system is constructed to work exactly as it's working. And so when the people start to wake up and rise up and say, we don't want this anymore, we don't want corporate special interests dictating our primaries and ultimately our general elections, the Democratic Party steps in and says, no, actually, this is what we want. We lie and say it's not what we want.
But we do.
But when you have the opportunity to make a stand, their attitude is, we are not only not going to pass this, we're not even going to vote on it because we don't want anyone to be exposed for being the corporate shills that they are.
We know who you are. That's the truth. Like they can keep doing that all they want, but we know who they are. It's not a secret. And eventually they're losing over time. That is not, to me, that's not even a question. They will eventually lose. Now, again, I always say the one thing that cannot be accounted for is the environmental factors. Like, I do believe progress will win overall in terms of like the political arena, but whether or not we all still exist or we're living in a fiery inferno that was bombed by a meteorite, I have no idea.
True.
But I do believe that politically speaking, progress is inevitable. And the old way is eventually dying off, and people are going to seek justice and equity. And it could be bloody, it could be horrible, but it will happen. But again, we could very well not exist as a planet. That's the wild card.
Yeah, there is no question that is more or less the direction we're heading in right now. And we cannot be just waiting around wondering, hey, how are we going to be able to save ourselves if they're just going to continue down this road of a little bit here, a little bit there? It doesn't work that way. They're just trying, again, it's like everyone who's up, like trying to celebrate, Joe Biden, clipping 15% of the student debt. Again, it's nice and it matters, but we shouldn't even have it to begin with. No other developed country on earth has it. We have it because we have a for-profit education system. We have a for-profit healthcare system. We have a planet that's on fire and has contaminated water
Literally on
in
fire.
Almost every corner of the country. And of course, Jackson, Mississippi is going to turn into Flint. It is eventually going to go by the wayside. They're never going to properly deal with it because why?
But the mayor of Fort Lauderdale is planning a nice little shuttle from downtown to the beach underground for the rich people.
Well, when we had Andy Mattis of the Teamsters Union on the other day, he said, well, actually, we could probably provide universal health care to the citizens of Fort Lauderdale. You see, when you start thinking along those terms, that's real change. That's infrastructure. That's systemic change.
Yeah, which is what needs to be happening. And it's going to have to happen local because we're not getting anywhere otherwise, people. It has to happen local.
Definitely true, Bill, although I'm not sure if it's just 15 years, maybe even longer than that. The Democratic Party, as it has evolved, if you will.
Oh, they're just all horrible.
You can never not move far enough to the right because, again, the whole idea is to keep the system completely functioning under the whim of corporate special interests and management. The idea of having something that is working in concert with labor is not something that's currently happening right now. And that's the big change that we need to see.
We don't have a Labor Party, people. It's a problem. It's a problem. It's the most lopsided possible way to have a democracy is having no Labor Party. Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.